Hello, this is George Senda, the real, authentic, original, official, the one, the only, the guy from Pittsburgh, except no cheesy YouTube commentators, imposters, or trolls. And I'm on live right now to ask for a small bit of help. Uh, the hospital thing threw everything into hell. I bought strawberries when I went Monday to Costco before I fell, and they're in the icebox. They've turned white. They're dead. So are the nectarines. I forgot about them. And I have another major problem. Uh, this is the second time this has happened. Now, the old anchor cable is attached to the anchor charging brick, and it seems to be charging the iPad. But this is the cable that I got sent in May, and the rubber deteriorated within a few days, and then the cable started to fray. The old anchor cable and attached to this anchor will not charge, and this was new in May. And I've told them about this with the one I'm using now seems to be charging, but what happens on the ends here, the rubber will fray, and then when that frays, the cable starts fraying, and then eventually the wires break and you can't use the cable anymore. Now they want to do a picture and a screenshot of the invoice, and this was about $20, and they'll give me a new one. But the problem is, being that it is the 16th, my AdSense money should go into my account on the 21st. I have no money to go to the Apple store to get a cable, and I don't know where I put the one that came with the iPad, because when I got this, I put the iPad cable away because it's only 3 foot long, and this is 10 foot long. And Anchor must have a license to use Apple's Lightning connector, because I can use this on the iPad, but you can't use a non-Apple connector cable on the iPad because it's proprietary. Apple makes their money selling cables and connectors and power bricks for the iPad and the iPhones and all that. So I need some help, guys and girls. Somebody. It's about $20 for an iPad cable for the 7th generation plus tax. If someone could send that to me to PayPal plus the 18%, or send it friends and family, I will return the money either next week when I get the AdSense money deposited to my account, or on the 1st of the month when I get my 31st, actually, when I get my check. I didn't go to Kathy's today, and I spent, this was gone through, the bag has a hole in it, and this entire box was gone through. I've been sitting here, and this is all the stuff that was in the bag and the boxes so far. That's going to go out. So I've been going, and I took a whole bin of laundry and put it in the bedroom so I can start working on the hallway and working my way forward. I don't know where the cable is. And if this cable that's attached to the anchor now dies, I have no iPad. So, and this thing, it's really dumb. It's got batteries in it, right? It should work. Well, if you unplug the USB port card cable, it doesn't work. So what's the point of having the batteries in it? This is stupid. So I don't know what the hell. I'm going to write the guy and say, why do you give a device you cannot disconnect the USB cable and have it do independently? Why are the batteries even in there? It's obviously not charging the device. So I'm going like weird stuff from China that doesn't quite work right because it's not thought out logically, or bad engineering or something. I will go see Kathy tomorrow. She has a problem. One of the cats may have cracked one of her teacups or coffee cups. I'm going to take the, it's buried now again, the remote up to her and help her do stuff. So anyway, that's where I stand right now. And so if someone could send me money to Falke, Falke 2013 at gmail.com on my PayPal account, I would really appreciate it. I will return the money to you. I'll get about 120 maybe off AdSense. I'm not sure yet. They take 30% skimmed off the top, which is outrageous. PayPal takes 18%. If you send it friends and family, PayPal charges nothing. So if someone could really do that, I would really appreciate it. And then what we're going to do on the 31st, we're going to go out. We're going to go to the credit union. I still can't believe this thing. The rubber cracked, and then it just did that. Because they don't armor. They armor this part with the rubber, but if the rubber breaks, then the cable starts fraying the fabric. And I'm going to have to, I may have to call them and say if I can get through to them. It's hard to get through to Anchor or Logitech or any of these guys. But even when the coronavirus isn't happening, and say, look, guys, you need to extend the armor down about maybe yay on both sides so the end of the cable doesn't. You'll notice this side did not fray and this side did. And it did the fraying on the other one at the very tip of the cable where the whole rubber came off last year. But that one seems to be working. So if I think Anchor is a Chinese company, but their company in the U.S. is in the Bay Area. If we get a car again, I'm going to go down there and show them this and say, your engineers need to put one little bit of rubber over this part on both ends so it doesn't fray and make the rubber stronger. Now, what I'm probably going to do, we will probably get a stimulus check next month. I'm probably going to go to Home Depot, get a heat gun, and get some shrink wrap and put it over this thing and heat it so it doesn't melt the cable, doesn't melt the rubber, doesn't melt the connector, and put shrink wrap tubing on this. I know how to do it. So both ends are protected on the next one. So I don't know about that. I've used the Anchor cables on 2 iPads now. It's just the way they don't give you enough coverage on this. Here's the one that's undamaged, but you can see where it stops. And if this breaks, then it makes the whole cable fray. So this is really aggravating to, pay for this, and then they want an invoice, which I don't keep the paper invoices. I guess I should put them in a file folder, but I get so much stuff. And I got to go to Amazon. They want a screenshot of the invoice, and yet I bought it on Amazon from Anchor, so go figure that out. I mean, this thing works fine. This was from Amazon. This is a great device. It charges the iPad, it will charge the Android phone, it will charge an iPhone. But the iPad is, other than doing live videos with it, keeps me, I play my games, I check my email, and I'm having a problem with Firefox. Firefox permissions keep stopping me from getting the email. Now, I can get an email in Chrome. Safari sucks. I try not to use Safari anymore than I have to. But I keep having to hit permissions, save permissions, Gmail, and then I go to YouTube, and when I go to YouTube, then I got to go back to Gmail. It's a pain in the ass. Firefox is screwy too. So, but found out I keep collecting bus schedules, and I found I have a ton of bus schedules. I didn't realize I had a ton of bus schedules. So, and we should have the, okay, Nancy Pelosi said in the last day or two that Mitch McConnell, the Oscar the Grouch of the Senate, the meanest man in Congress, the man who should be voted out of office. He's worth $23 million. He and his wife got their fortune dealing with the Chinese communists. They're corrupt. He wants a $40,000 limit on the next stimulus package. There will be a stimulus, check. Trump has said it. Mnuchin has said it. Larry Kudlow comes out. He's the other grouch. I don't know what happened to him. He used to be a good financial reporter. He comes out, he's all grumpy. He wants payroll protection. He wants this. He wants that. He wants a payroll tax cut, which is ridiculous. The guys called up today to Tom Sullivan saying that they got a restaurant. They're 9% down from last year, and Michigan is threatening to cut and close everything up again. So is Texas. So is Florida. So is Arizona. California has cut back, and they want a payroll tax cut when places are having to shut down again, and some places will never open. And then we have a coin shortage in this country because businesses had coins, and I pointed out to my friend Paul, I said, well, you realize the U.S. Mint shut down because of Corona in West Point and maybe other locations. Laundromats that do a huge amount of change have shut down. That's where all your quarters come to do your laundry if you don't live in the house and have a washer and dryer. And bank branches have shut down because they cannot social distance because the branches like Wells Fargo, Bank of America are too small. And Paul went into Wells Fargo to 2 rolls of quarters. They refused him quarters. They said, we're only giving them the business customers. Kroger, when you go into Kroger now, they are not giving your change back. If you give them a 20 and you buy $17 worth of and 37 cents worth of something, I'm just throwing that out as an example, they put the 63 cents on your Kroger card. And I'm sure someone's going to sue Kroger for that. If you go to Starbucks in the D.C. area or Wendy's, they have a sign. Starbucks is hand-printed. Wendy's actually printed it out. Due to the nationwide coin shortage, we're asking only for digital payments or exact change. In other words, they want a credit card, a debit card, or cash. So we have a coin shortage. And we had a coin shortage in 1999. People didn't want pennies anymore or threw them in a jar, and we had a shortage of pennies. I got all this laundry to do. I'm going to probably go from bank to bank and beg for quarters. Now, Safeway has been nice enough to give me a roll or 2 quarters when I need it. They seem to have no problem with getting quarters, but they've got an armored truck coming in. Where they're getting the quarters from, I don't know. But so that's the other problem. And I'm sure that some attorney will sue Kroger because it's probably not in their terms and conditions when you sign up for a Kroger card or a Albertsons card or a Safeway card or an Affinity card. All these things are Affinity cards, even Costco, Walmart's card, if they have a card, I don't know. It's not in their terms and conditions, and we have the right to put money on your card. And someone's suing Walmart because they refuse to make returns, and yet it's not in their return policy. There's a class action suit against Walmart. There's another class action suit against Apple. Big industries, class action suits. So now it may be that they also said that some people may fear handling currency and coins, so they're using their credit cards. Of course, a lot of people have no money because they're out of work. They haven't gotten only 56% of the people have gotten the federal unemployment $600 a week. And someone online got somebody else that I know fired by harassing their place of employment, and that's disgusting and unforgivable. And so this is the danger of dealing with people online. They don't like you, they go after you. And as you know, I probably had my videos stopped from being on Coast to Coast AM due to online harassment from you know where. So, but the article I read said that Coinstar, which has coin machines all over the place, and my friend Paul didn't know what a Coinstar was. I said, you go to Coinstar, you dump your change. It's all my fault. You know, I'm hoarding pennies. You dump the change into the coin star without the dust, and it counts all the pennies, or the dimes, nickels, quarters, half dollars, dollars, Susan B. Anthony's, Sacagaweas, whatever it is, John F. Kennedy's, Eisenhower dollars, and then it gives you a receipt. You take it to the cashier, and she gives you your money. Coinstar is losing money because no one's turning in their change. So where in the hell is all the change? One guy in Sheboygan has all the quarters in the country, and they had a figure. I think they said there's $48 billion in change out there. Someone's hoarding it. Not in my apartment. I don't have $48 billion in change. I don't want my laundry clean. So I had the COVID test done. It's very, very painful. I will not do this. Twice was enough. I had it done twice now. By the way, I just dropped it. This little thing that will charge my phone, my Android phone, and sometime in the next 6 months I will be buying an iPhone. I met someone I had someone online. They got a discount for an iPhone of $100. This will charge my Android phone, but it will not connect with a lightning cable. So, but the Anchor will. So, what they do basically is they take a swab like this, and they stick it way up your nose, probably into your brain, probably into your eye socket, and it hurts like hell. And when they pull that out and you're grabbing your nose, you're going, oh my God, the pain. Then they take another swab and they stick the other swab up your nose that way. And there is a way to do it orally, and I don't know what other ways. I don't want to know. I've had that thing with the nose twice. I had it done at UCSF when I went to UFO Con, and a week later I woke up, my glands swollen, my throat swollen, had weird fevers where I was red hot, but I wasn't sweating, and then I was ice cold, and my skin went numb, and my tongue went numb, and my face went numb. Went there, got tested, you're negative. In the hospital, excuse me, I'm still having trouble talking. Talking there, and it did something to my throat. I think there's something wrong with his throat. They had 7 or 8 breathing treatments with prednisone, this stuff right here, and some other stuff I don't remember. And that enabled me to breathe again. I've had a little trouble lately. I've got a bunch of lemons that someone left downstairs. I wash them off with soap and water. And they tested me for COVID-19, and I'm negative again. So, but then I don't, other than to go cat feeding and go shopping and get my mail, I don't go out. So thank you, Samantha. Someone just sent me $20. I appreciate that. I don't have any money to bank either, I don't think, and I don't have any money credit cards. I've been using it for food and other stuff and extra cat food. So I spent $120 on cat food. Now the AdSense money is enough to pay for the entire cat food budget for, what are we, August. So that will get me a month where I can take other money and drop down money on a credit card bill, which is probably what I'm going to, or maybe get a coin loan on it. If we get the stimulus, I'm going to the coin dealer and getting all 5 coin loans out. And that's about not counting interest, that's about $500. I want to get those out. They're killing me. The interest is killing me every 4 months. I've spent a fortune on that stuff. I had to pawn all my silver when Kathy got evicted 4 years ago or so, when my mother died at the same time. So we should have... No, I was sick before the test. I went to Alien Con on the 21st or 26th, UFO Con, sorry, I keep saying Alien Con, on the 21st or 26th of February. People there got sick. People in LA at a paranormal convention got sick, about 50 of them. I don't know if they had corona or not. All I know is that was over the weekend, and the following Saturday I woke up. This was completely swollen. My throat felt like it was on fire. My skin went numb. At one point, all the warmth went out of my face and neck, and it felt ice cold, like I was dead. And then it would flush, and my mouth would be burning. It was a weird, and my eye sockets were burning, and I don't know what the hell it was. And yet they say I was negative. I've never had something like that in my life, but the recent one, I have asthma, I have COPD, I'm allergic to grass. The pollen level here for over 2 months has been going through the roof, and underneath my apartment is a giant lawn. So when I go out, or I have to have the door open because it's too hot in here. Right now it's 78 in here, but last week it was 93 or 94 on Sunday. I was dying in here. If I close the door, it gets over 100 in here. I have an air conditioner. It doesn't work with a damn. I've had 7 fans on in here, and it's still like I can feel this heat radiating out of my skin like I'm in a convection oven. So when I go out to feed the cats, when I go to the post office, when I go to the store, I'm gasping for air. When I get to the bus stop and get on the air-conditioned bus and escape Martinez within a few blocks, I'm fine. The minute I get off the bus, there's a lawn right at the City Hall bus stop. I start choking again. Now, I went out 2 nights ago. We must have had 20 or 30 or 40 mile an hour winds. It blew all the pollen elsewhere, and I was fine. I was able to go on the street and not. And then I have another problem. I use, where is it? Excuse me. This is Ventanol, and it's crappy. And they gave me one that seems to be broken. But this helps with the wheezing. And then I have to use, come on, thing. I have to use little pills in the Spiriva, and then I use a third one. I don't know if I can get that out. Well, it's round. And I have to use 3 of these every day, or I can't breathe. Well, I have a sinus infection, and it's almost permanent because I'm allergic to grass. And the whole corona pandemic stopped my test. I had a brain scan I had to do because I keep getting dizzy. I had a colonoscopy set up. I had an allergy clinic appointment because they told me your lung is not strong enough to get shots for grass allergies. And I said, well, I finally raised enough hell that they agreed to see me again. And if you don't see them within 3 years, you have to get a new referral to see you, which is stupid. Just like my medication, if this stuff runs out, it's only good for 3 years, even though you have a lifetime. This is prednisone, but if you have a lifetime condition for a medication, they stupidly haven't run out in 3 years. I'm going to have to take certain medications like my Lipitor for the rest of my life. Sacramento just canceled their Farm to Fork Festival, so that was a news alert coming on my screen. So, and I take Allegra, and that helps with the allergies, but it doesn't help with the grass allergies for some reason. And this is my generic. I have to take this for the rest of my life. It's a atorvastatin calcium generic for Lipitor. I got to take it every day. So this is why the people think there's nothing wrong with me. They're full of crap. So they gave me prednisone. They gave me this stuff. Doxycycline monohydrate, 100 milligram, Cap-Parp, generic for Monodox. And I've got 4 left. They were giving me antibiotics, and they gave me 4 and 5 pills at a time. Every 4 hours, I was getting more prednisone. I was getting breathing. They said, you want a, not bronchodilator, I forget what they called it, to go home. I said, I would love them because I couldn't keep getting this. I can't breathe. I can't get any air in my lungs. I can't get any air out of my lungs. No air is going into my lungs. I'm so congested. I have to call the ambulance. And they take me in the ambulance to the hospital because I'm on the verge of dying because there's no air coming in and there's no air going up. It's all congested with mucus and pus. And this is why I have to go to the hospital. Uh, they wouldn't give me one. I've asked. Oh, hold on. Hold on. The fake Shiva and Muffy is removing all my chats. This is a troll. So I have to try to get rid of this person. Bear with me for a minute. They're deleting all the comments because they have a wrench. So, goodbye. Because the real Shiva and Muffy, the real Shiva and Muffy had to change her handle because she's being harassed online by a troll, and her people are calling her father at all hours of the day and night. So I will remove the moderator status when I get done with this video of that particular person. I gave them, my wrench is gone, and they started removing all the chat comments. So I will unhide everybody. It take me a minute, so bear with me. Schmuck. That is an evil thing to do to people. They come in there and disrupt my chat and I thought that was the real Lisa. Lisa and is a real sweetheart. So and she's being unmercilessly harassed. So I apologize for that. They came on 3 or 4 live chats ago. My wrench is gone, and it's an imposter. They're using her avatar of her beloved kitty cat, Sheba and Muffy, two of the cutest kitty cats in the world. And then this woman is harassing her, and they're also harassing a friend of hers who had a heart attack, which is also despicable beyond belief. You don't harass someone who just had a heart attack. So, but this is the kind of stuff that you have to deal with when someone online who's never met you decides they don't like your employment status, they don't like that you get Social Security disability, they think you're taking money out of their pockets, they tell you at the hospital, stop wasting the taxpayers' money, stop taking up a room that's needed for somebody else. Well, federal law and state law, if you go to the emergency room and you're indigent, they have to treat you. And I have Medicare. I'm 68 years old. They ignore that fact, of course, because they're morons. And here is the fuzzy. Yes, right. Cute little fuzzy. Come here, cute little fuzzy. It is fuzzy! Don't dig your claws into my leg, little cat. One reason I want to clean is find the nail clipper. She hates her nails clipped, but she digs her claws into me. That did not feel good, little. Why you do that to Daddy? They love you, shitty cat. Oh, shut up. No, I'll do this. See, Gygum comes in, and I don't know how to get around my block because my comments are supposed to be moderated before they appear on the screen. How these guys manage to do that? They must have hacked my channel somehow. My cat is 17 years old. She sits on her little cat house her little cat bed, and she squeaks at me to go to bed because she wants to cuddle with me. She loves me. She has just never quite gotten used to being held because she was born outside, so we're Fluffy and little girl. The little girl wants petting and loving. Okay. And my outdoor cats love me. They come up and nuzzle me. They flop. Mama cat comes up to me. Mama cat comes in here and meows for food. There are about 30 cat toys I pulled under her kitty house this morning. So, and I'm always begging. No, I'm not always begging. I ask for super chat donations to help support the channel because buying equipment costs money. This cost me $38 so I can take it out and have power for the iPad so I can do a live video when I'm out and about and you can see me outside this of an apartment. It's not so bad in here now, but this corner for some reason in the hallway, if I sit here for an hour and a half, aside from the fact that sitting in this chair hurts my butt after a while and my back, it's hot over here. I would much rather go out somewhere where I could sit outside. And of course, the problem is everywhere you can sit outside, when they designed these outdoor seating, no one thought that people have to charge their devices. So there's no plugs, there's no power source. But this is $38. I paid for this. And this will, I haven't figured out how long this will charge for, but I think it's like 3 or 4 hours. So I can go into Safeway and plug it in for a while and get, you know, I take the power brick with me, plug it into a plug when I'm sitting there and in the wheelchair, and or in Walmart when I haven't been to Walmart lately, but and then the minute I go home, I plug it in, so it gets recharged. The Android phone is not great for live streaming. I have a video on here. I haven't had the time to put it. I haven't had the time to put it on the iPad, the Mac. So this is, you know, Android is very slow, and compared to the iPad, and like, you know, I have some of the apps and some of the things that I have normally on my iPad, like Weather Kitty, but it takes longer than on this to load up Weather Kitty than it does to load up Weather Kitty on my iPad. And there you can see how long it took to load up the kitty. And now what I'm going to do next month, I will buy two. When they replace the anchor cable, I will buy an extra anchor cable and an extra Apple iPad cable. I don't know why Apple can't make a 6-foot cable. 3 feet is for the birds. Let me see something. Here we go. Pittsburgh, possible thunderstorms. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So there's back home, which will always be home. And I don't. Pittsburgh, California seems to have disappeared where Kathy lives. I don't know why. But anyway, this is not. Yeah, but I don't know how it's going to stream. And then the other thing, if I were to try to stream, I've never tried it. I'll have to try it sometime. And then it would have to connect to my YouTube channel. I don't know how to do that. And then I couldn't see the chat. If this is all I'm using, I can't see the chat if I'm not at home. So it will go on YouTube. But I think it's very slow. And then it also has a excuse me, it has a bad habit of dimming the screen for some reason, which drives me crazy. And I think I'll go on YouTube. Hold on. And then some things I can't get it to use, like the Safeway app, that won't work. It has GPS. It is on Wi-Fi right now. Where the hell is... Okay. There's YouTube. There's Lucky Ferrell's. Stephen Gardner. Neely of the Slot Machines. Luke Biani, who's got a new video out. Red Eagle Politics. Love for Kittens. Birch Law. Let's see what happens. Okay. I'm on there. So it works. So thank you. Whomever said that. Let's see, go back to... Yeah, now, as I understand it, you can live stream on a Switch, and by the end of the year, I'm going to try to take my bars of Gold Press Latinum and my firstborn cat, and not really, not the firstborn cat. Oh my God, where did my cow go? Oh no, one of my cows fell down. I hope I didn't break it. I love my cow. Oh, yeah, lucky my cow did not break. I'm going to buy a Switch because I met someone. Nintendo Switch, you can play games on it with the SD card. You can save the SD card games. You can play Nintendo 3DS games on it. I think you might be able to play Wii, but I don't know for sure. But the thing about the Switch, I do know that you can live stream, because when it first came out, I met someone who had one. It was brand new on the market. And if you've never seen it, hold on, let me go into... Another thing, I don't like doing stuff. I don't like doing stuff on the phone because I got big fingers and little tiny type on this. And on my bucket list, now here's one, but I bet if I tried to buy this, they'd say it was out of stock or something. They got this one for cheap, but I don't have the money yet. That's what a Nintendo Switch looks like. And that is the hottest game console out because everybody's stuck in their homes and they're all playing games on the Switch. And the bundles at GameStop are going for almost $600. You get the game, the charger, the controllers are attached to it, the box, and maybe one or two games in a bundle, and it's $600. And this machine, before the pandemic, the Switch was $300 brand new. So, and there are used machines out there. And everybody's got the light, but nobody wants the light because the light does one thing the light does one thing you cannot do. It won't let you connect it to your television. And I've been trying to connect my iPad, and then I remember I got to have a dongle. I got a dongle, but I got to figure out where I put it. That's why I'm putting slowly these things on the end of the cables, the connectors, so I know what I've got. And I got to find the dots and then I've got to find the connectors. I can take the iPad to the HDMI connector, connect the HDMI connector to my Sony, mirror the iPad to my television, then I could sit and do this on bed and I could see the screen because I have trouble seeing. I still haven't got my glasses. So I'd rather not use this unless I have to, because I got to sit there and I feel like I'm milking teeny mice or something with my giant fingers. Now I have on the Amazon wish list a iPad keyboard and dock, so it will, and it's like $30. So I'm going to get that next month, so I can sit and type on the iPad. And when the other iPads are paired, then I'll have two iPads. Then you can hook up a MacBook to an iPad. I think you can hook up an iPad to an iPad. You can hook up a iPad to the Mac. And I have it also on the wish list, a 13-inch television monitor that will connect to a MacBook. I don't know if it'll connect to an iPad, that you can take with you. Then I could have a monitor, get my MacBook, recharge the charger. What happened to the charger? I need a new charger. And, but the goal eventually is to get all new equipment as I have the money. So I know I'm not going to ask for new equipment. That's this? That's my million views. I'm not, unofficially I'm at, but not officially, because YouTube's reporting is off and has been off for months. So that's just me with the million views. There's nothing else. This fan keeps falling down because the little table is too small for it, and I keep having to keep from getting clunked on the head with it. But without it, I'd sit here and roast. It's a picture of me. Created by Open Lines Jerry. Well, I have somewhere around here my Nintendo 3DS XL. I have all up there, the Pokemon games, the cases. I have the Pokemon games in little holders. And, no, it doesn't miss anything. Yeah, I breathe out like this and go. I have my very retro Snoopy phone from 1977. There you go. See? There's my... Well, I can't get up there. Oh, that's a long stretch. There we go. And I want to do a little bit of cleaning every day so I get this place a little more presentable. So that's why I started going through all this stuff, and at least get the hallway done. And then the bedroom, we're gonna revamp next month. We get the stimulus check and get all the laundry out here, get bins at Costco, and then put the clean laundry and fabric softener sheets under the bed until I can put everything away. And then start getting all the clutter out of here, and then I can get the place good. Kathy says finally she's going to come over and help me. Patty was going to help me, but she flaked, and Patty is being not nice to Kathy, because I was livid this morning when I found out that, oh, by the way, this to give you an idea. This is I'm not going to show you my Medicare number, but this is my thing for Medicare summary notice that I'm on Medicare. And they send me periodic statements for all the coverage I get. So for those who say, I'm taking off the taxpayer, everybody who works in this country or has worked pays into Medicare. It gets taken out of their paycheck. So, no, I'm not going to have an online auction. I have 3 records. So I have the album from Dragnet with Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks, which it's a dumb movie, but I like the movie and I like the music. And I have an album of The Tyrant Inferno and Earthquake. That's all the LPs I've got. And I've got 145 of Clint Eastwood, Go Ahead, Make My Day, with, I forget the guy who did the song with him. But that's it. I don't have a record player, but one day it's going to be on the list of things. Get a turntable and attach it to the Mac, and then I can listen to LPs again. I'm not going to... Everybody wants me to sell my stuff. It took me years to accumulate the stuff I like. I have 600 paranormal books. I have probably 1,000 CDs of music. I have 400 movies. Why would I sell my stuff? Come on, people. I have a 48-inch Sony, a 19-inch Westinghouse. I have an Apple IIc, an Apple IIe, an Apple IIgs, an Apple II integer-based computer, an Apple II AppleSoft-based computer, a Mac Mini. I have 2 MacBooks and an iBook. I'm not going to get rid of my property. It needs to be, the clutter needs to be, and when you get so sick you cannot breathe, or when you fall and you injure your elbow, which is still giving me spikes of pain, and you re-injure your right knee, which is already injured, and you can't do anything, the place gets messy because you're lying in bed coughing and blowing your nose and gasping for air and all of that. So I will get this place straightened out with help. I can't do it all myself because at some point when I try to get up, my knee buckles. It was never repaired. I can't put any weight on it. I've gained 20 pounds with this stay-at-home crap because I sit here and I start eating and I'm bored and I get hungry and I don't seem like I'm full. And here is Mr. Fluffy sniffing all the cat toys, and now, uh-oh. Oh, oh. The baby boy. The elusive baby boy. Here's Mr. Fluffy. The H. Fluffington the third. Hey, baby boy. Baby boy. Now you see, tell me this cat doesn't love me. Tell me he doesn't love this. Look at this. He loves to have his chin scratched. But he's always been skittish and shy, and it wasn't my fault he was born here. Yes, baby boy. Now I did last night, I took a whole bag of garbage out. I've got a bag of recycling tied up to take down on Sunday, and then I will, got to go to Kathy's, and then Saturday and Sunday I will go into the kitchen. When I get back from Kathy's, I'm worn out because it's like 4 or 5 buses. It takes hours. Go in the kitchen, pick all the stuff off the floor and move it, sweep the floor, mop the floor. And then I can't really do anything with the stuff on the floor until I get 2 more bin containers to put some of the stuff away. Yes, my boy. Baby boy. Number 1 boy in the world. Yes, number 1. Yes. With the patented tail. Yes. There you go, my boy. There you go, my boy. Yes, there you go, my baby boy. So silly. Every time I want to pick him up, he backs up. My kitties are a great comfort to me. I love them. They love me. He's wagging his tail. He's happy. Yeah. Mr. Man. Mr. Man. The number 1 mountain. The number 1 mountain. Yes. Number 1. Yeah. Oh. And when I scratch his ears, his little eyes close. Mm-hmm. No, back in the... now I got to clip his claws. Shoot. Back in the 70s, I had hundreds of records. I put them all in storage when I had to move to San Francisco, and then I dragged them to Sacramento, and then I lost my storage in 2001, and they all went away. And my late friend Glenn, he had a closet, and he had records stacked up 8 feet high. And he eventually sold them all. He said, I'm not going to drag this stuff all over San Francisco. They take up room. Now, I had a house, and I had a proper audiophile thing with mixers and amplifiers and a, old school Marantz system or Sony and, tweeters and woofers and all that other stuff, and could sit in my nice chair, motorized chair that would lift me up so I wouldn't have to, get up and have everything hurt. And just sit there and have my coffee and listen to classical music or jazz or a good soundtrack from a movie or a TV show or something like that. And everything was soundproofed and I could crank it up as high as I want. That'd be great, but, so You know, and I have little things that are floating around here, like there's this little round speaker over there. Somewhere there's a speaker over here. Oh, here it is. This works. This is a Bluetooth speaker that I picked up at Big Lots for $12. It puts out about the same amount of volume, but has bass. The built-in speakers on Macs are terrible. So, and I've been throwing away all the Welch's. I'm not going to eat those anymore because I think they were making me fatter. So I'm going to try to, Kathy says you stick to fruit, but after all, fruit, yeah, but if I get one, I want one that has the capability of taking the record and copying it to MP3 to my computer, too. So now the thing about records, they get better fidelity than an MP3. So it would only be select, and there are a lot of records out there. Rasputin Music has finally opened up. I don't know about Amoeba in San Francisco. That's the other competitor locally. And there is a record store in Fremont in Niles that may open. They have all these old records, and there's a lot of records, jazz, classical, party albums, you name it, rock, blues. Easy listening, you know, that never came out on CD. I have a Jimmy Smith jazz organist album, one of the probably the best jazz organists ever. It took 15 years for them to take his Verve album and put it on CD. So there's records out there they aren't there. There are movies and TV shows. I was binge watching The Lone Ranger. Not Clinton Spilsbury and not Johnny Depp with the buzzer on his head, but Clayton Moore, the only Lone Ranger. And you cannot get the entire series on DVD. They have them in chunks. You can get one. There is the Lone Ranger fan site. You can buy the whole series, but I'm not about to pay $129 for every 181 episodes of Lone Ranger. There are limits to even what I want to do. So, and there's another thing. There are, boy, you're poor. I have three DVD players, a DVD VH player, and a Blu-ray player. You know, they do go on sale at Walmart cheap. I've seen Sony DVD Blu-ray players for as cheap as $60. I only buy Sony, so I won't buy anything else because they last. Although I do need to find my door for my Blu-ray player because it fell down when the door came off. I have to glue the door back on. I have one that someone left, and I tested it, and it works fine. It's a DVD player, so I'm going to put that in the bedroom under the lamp. So when I get in their Mac Mini, I can hook it up to the Mac Mini. Apple will not let you do Blu-ray on a Mac, which sucks. You can do Blu-ray on a PC all day. Although there is a Otherworld Computing Blu-ray player that will connect to a Mac, then you have to download the software and Blu-ray disc will work on a Mac that way. And it's fairly expensive. I like Blu-ray because I have watched... What was it? Okay. I've watched Star Trek The Wrath of Khan in the theater when it came out. And it took years to get an answer from the Star Trek fan club magazine. I tried to get an answer from Paramount saying there was a scene in the movie when the movie premiered. We saw it in Sacramento on the first day, and Khan looks out the view screen at the Enterprise escaping, and Khan screams, "No!" And when the movie came out first on VHS, then on DVD, then on Blu-ray, the scene was gone, and it was Khan's rage at being thwarted. And it was a very powerful shot, and they cut it out. But it was in the theater, which is very weird. So it's just like the Mandela effect in Moonraker. Everybody I know who saw the movie Moonraker with Roger Moore saw Corinne, I think her name was Dubois, with braces on her teeth. And yet all the prints of the spy who loved me, she's not wearing braces. So, and the Trump's Titans comic has an issue, the Mandela Effect. She's on the cover. So, why would they cut certain scenes like that? I don't understand. But in any event, I have about Khan Noonien Singh. How come I can remember that from 1965 or 66, but I can't remember what I did a week ago? Don't ask me. Just like I know the name of Ilya Nikovich Kuryakin, but I can't tell you what my phone number is. It's back here. I can drag up the old stuff. The new stuff is hard. Napoleon Solo. So, no, it's not Imran. It's Khan Noonien, Noonien Singh, Singh. So that he became absolute dictator of India and that area until he and his followers were exiled into space. And they had a genetic war, and they also afterwards had an atomic war. So, and that timeline was later ignored by, I don't know if it was Harv Bennett or Brand Braga, but whoever did Next Generation and Voyager and Deep Space Nine and Enterprise ignored the whole timeline of the movies and just created a whole change the universe slightly. And then we had the horrible J.J. Abrams Kelvin universe where they killed Spock's mother, blew up Vulcan. Please. And Uhura have the hots for Spock, which totally goes against the entire character of Spock, who has a first name. It's all consonants, by the way, with B's in it. They actually spelled it out somewhere at one point. I have the Star Trek Concordance written by my friend B. Joe Trimble, and one day I will buy a copy of the original one, which is very hard to come by. I have about 500 Star Trek books in the back bedroom and about 250 Star Wars books. So, and a bunch of small miniature pewter enterprises. So, I've watched Star Trek. Star Trek The Wrath of Khan is the best Star Trek movie. The toss-up, which is worse, Star Trek The Motion Turkey or Star Trek V, The Search for God, William Shatner's idea of what a Star Trek movie would be that almost killed the franchise. So, I thought Hulu was pay. There's a new one coming out whose name escapes me. Shamrock Lucky, something like that. That's coming out soon. I see these ads and I don't pay attention. I don't have cable. I would have to pay my old bill to Comcast and then give them a $75 deposit. Well, when I get the other, oh, that's cheap. Google just raised their streaming TV rate to something like $60 or $75 a month for their TV version where you can watch television on it. That's outrageous. So they're as bad as Comcast. They're greedy. They were $30 at one point. I used to watch DirecTV. Now I'm grandfathering at $35 a month, and when my other iPad gets repaired, I can do a live video and then turn the sound off. And there's a thing on my wish list. It's a stand, and you put the iPad in the stand, and it extends over your bed. Well, I could have it right here and look up stuff, or be doing the video with this, seeing the chat on the. I should really move this down to the chat. I apologize. It's mail time on Lucky Ferals, and there's a chat. So I could have the Mac be broadcasting on the iPad and have the other iPad and look up things if someone wants me to look it up on the stand next to me, and it will extend it over the bed. So when I need to lie down because my back or my knee or my foot or my shoulder or my elbow says it's time for you to lie down, I wouldn't have to hold on to the iPad. Well, don't tell me, and I don't want to ruin your money-making idea. Don't tell anybody. You tell someone rip it off. You don't want to do that. Oh, this is my long-time beloved Sony. That's why I only buy Sony. AM/FM CD radio, but the CD no longer works, but it does work as a radio. I've had it for years, and the antenna broke off. I used to carry this in the front of my car, and invariably it would fall off the car seat. So I'm going to have to buy another CD player. So I like sitting here, even though I've got iTunes. iTunes is buggy on my computer because the hard drive is going. I like to sit here and listen to KFBK or other state, or when we have sports, to football and baseball, and play my music on CDs. So, and I do have a store which I'm going to have to look up for the guy from Pittsburgh with shirts and coffee cups and with different pictures of me and all that. And I have an idea for a money-making idea, but I'm not going to tell anybody what it is. I have to have someone design the product and then put it in the store. No. Excuse me. No, that is done by a major troll, and so I'm not going to even allow that disgusting program to be discussed here. That is done by a major troll, and you're gone, pal. You're a troll. So, bye. I have nothing against hockey, but somebody put on a hockey discussion site that this channel was about hockey. Now, my mother was not a psychic reader. My mother was psychic, which is a whole different section. My mother knew when everybody in the family was ill. She knew when something was wrong. I could never lie to her. She would sense it. She had like spidey sense. One night, she woke me up at 3 in the morning. Are you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. You woke me up. So she started calling Canada, Pittsburgh, Germany, and turns out somebody had a heart attack. So, did I get the gift also? What gift? I got money from someone sent me $20, which I thanked them for, but my gift. My thing is not specific. I have the sense that something is wrong, but I cannot always pin it down. And the three, I think someone sent me a gift, Sorry. The three things that have happened in my life where I knew something was wrong, and every once in a while it's off. I called my mother up when she was alive and said, "You're all right. I'm feeling something is very wrong." I said, "I'm fine." But she had heart attacks and strokes and falls. I came home one morning early and went to bed, and I woke up with a start, and that's happened 3 times, and one time I predicted it. I woke up about 8:30 in the morning and said, there is something terribly wrong. I can feel it. It's like feeling a disturbance from the force. I turned on the TV and I see 9/11 happening. And the first plane crashing into the World Trade Center. The other time, the same thing. I was taking a nap in the afternoon. I woke up, sat straight up in the bed. Something is wrong. I can feel it. I better see what's going on the TV. And it was a Challenger disaster. And the third thing, I predicted on my channel, I was studying multiple small earthquakes in this area, and I said, we're going to have a 6 or bigger earthquake in the San Francisco Bay Area before the end of the year. And that wasn't specific, but 11 miles from me at the small town of Imperial Canyon, California, down the road from Napa, the Imperial Canyon fault line erupted. We had a 6.4 that did major damage to Napa. This building shook for 25 seconds. My sofa bed that Fuzzy is sitting on was not extended out then. It was folded up. I'm sitting on the sofa bed. I've got my arms stretched out like Mr. Fantastic or Doc Octopus, holding onto the sides of the bed and going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. My iPad was in front of me, but I didn't think in the 10 seconds I had before the quake hit to turn it on to go live. And the bed, the whole building went up, down, left, right, and the entire, the sofa bed's heavy. I've had two of them now, and the entire bed with me on it rose off the floor. That's how strong the earthquake hit this building, and yet people in the building here had were slept through it. So I'm going like, this is wild. You sleep through an earthquake. So that was 4 or 5 years ago. That Shiba is an imposter. That is not the real Shiba. That person came in, hacked Shiba's avatar and her online presence. She's had to change her name, change her YouTube channel, and came in 2 or 3 or 4 chats ago and said, where's my wrench? I'm a moderator. I gave the wrench back, and they proceeded to delete all the comments and blocked everybody in the channel. No. I did not ban her. I can go and unban her, but the problem is whoever did that started using the wrench and deleted all my chatters. So I know it wasn't her because she wouldn't do that. She knows me. And another thing, her father's being harassed. She's being harassed. She had to change Shiva Muffin, etc., to a brand new channel. Oh yeah, see, and you've been blocked too, but you came. This is not the real Donna Louise cave. It's a troll. And I looked in my hidden users the other night and saw that this person was what was that? I saw that this person was a hidden user, so it's not the real Donna Louise cave. It's another. It's a Jason Callan troll. They come in from Jason Callan, the legion of losers, not the legion, and they harass the channel. See, this guy is a troll. He just told me to burn in hell. So. My mother was born in Tilsit, Lithuania, which was Ostprussia, East Prussia, in 19. And the problem is, for some weird reason, I was always told she was born. I have the papers in a box down here of her marriage and birth certificate and all of that. She was born in 1917, but she told Social Security she was born in 1919. But that was German territory. It was part of Lithuania. And after World War II, the Soviets came in, took over the country, took over all the Baltic countries, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, with their cruel dictatorship, and they destroyed all traces of German history in the town and renamed it Sovietsk. And she walked across Russia. She walked from Lithuania to Berlin with my sister, 800 or 900 miles, I think, to escape the Russians. So, a very strong woman. But they have a they have a Russian major naval base there and anti-missile base there. And no, she tried to get permission to go back to see what the town looked like and see if any friends were still alive. Thousands of German citizens fled the area, and they would not allow her to return. So Johnny COPD, soak your head in a porta potty. You're another troll. And I shouldn't have people like that. And Donna Louise Cave, you're a troll. You're not the real Donna Louise Cave. She's been very nice. But they come in here and do this all the time. My father was born in 1910, December 5th, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And my other relatives were born in East Prussia or Canada, the younger ones, or in my sister has children born in Pittsburgh. And I still have relatives on the south side of Pittsburgh and in and around Pittsburgh. There's about 200 people named Senda that I'm aware of that are in my family. I've never met them. They held me as a baby, though. And it's my goal after we get the car and I get the other car to get all the stuff I need to get to have a better channel, including a GoPro. I will ask help to get me a GoPro. So don't bitch about it. I get a GoPro, I can go live and not have to carry the iPad around. I can put that shoulder thing or put on the helmet and walk around with a GoPro. It's on sale at Costco now for $3.18. I would love GoPro 8. But anyway, my goal within 3 years, before I get too old, before my sister gets too old, she's 80, is to see my sister, my nieces, my nephew, and meet the relatives on the south side who, I think, I'm not going to mention names, but I think my father's brother is dead now, and he had 3 brothers, so I think they're all gone. And certainly my grandparents who held me as a baby, they're gone. My mother's parents are gone. But I'd like to meet the rest of the family, so. The problem with the GoPro 7, it has issues with live streaming. So does the 8. I had a GoPro 3. And when Kathy got evicted, I pawned it in a pawn shop in Oakland and never got it out. So I lost the GoPro 3. I want to get a GoPro 8. By the time I get a GoPro 8, I'll come out with a GoPro 9. If I win the lotto, I'd go get the Sony video camera. It's like $50,000. But I ain't got a cart that around my shoulder. So it's $500 the last I looked to fly to Pittsburgh. So I got to come up with that first, and it's $170 a night to stay in a hotel, and they want to charge you $50 more bucks. What a ripoff that is! To rent a microwave. I could have somebody take me to Walmart and get a microwave for $50 and leave it in the room when I go home. But if I want hot coffee and don't want to pay $4 for a cup of coffee or heat up a sandwich, I got to use their microwave. It's ridiculous. Some hotels don't do that. They put a microwave in your room. If you go to the Grand Sierra Hotel and Casino in Reno and you pay for the upgrade $20, you get a microwave, you get a coffee maker, you get all kinds of stuff. So we've stayed there several times. They've had actual free stays there where they had a promotion and you got a free night or 1 night free and 1 night paid. We like that hotel, but it's way out in the edge of Reno. It's about 1.5 miles from what the hell is it? Not South Charleston. I can't remember the street. It runs for miles downtown, and you run from downtown, you run up by Carson City, and the weirdest Apple store in the world. I had to get something for my iPad. Let's go down to the Apple store. So Kathy's driving the Prius, and we're driving the Prius, and we're driving the Prius. And there was a Dillard's department store there, a little shopping center, and there's the Apple store, and it's something like 13 miles from downtown Reno. They put this Apple store in the middle of nowhere. And I still don't understand that. They don't put it downtown. You got to drive 13. It's the only Apple store I've ever seen that's not in the city. It's like miles. South Virginia Street, that's what it is. I went to junior high school in Reno for a year. My mother and father moved there and dragged me along with them, and so I know Reno, what it used to be. And there's one thing that I would love to see up there. Kathy would love it. She loves animals. There is a live animal park and petting area, and you can go up there. And if you don't gamble, there's not much to do in Reno, but we could find some. She wants to go to Virginia City. And I've never been to Virginia City, so we will rent a car after we get the stimulus, or if we get the Prius, I'm going to have my neighbor leave cat food out for the kitties, feed the outdoor kitties, and we'll probably take 2 days. I'll get my other neighbor to leave food for Tiny One and Orangey, and we'll go up to Reno and then go to Virginia City. Now, I'm always been amused by Virginia City because of Bonanza. Here's the Ponderosa, and you see this map that would appear in the beginning of every episode, and they would have a map of the Ponderosa in Nevada, and the map would turn on fire, and half the state would burn up in smoke. And the Ponderosa was gigantic. It was actually by Lake Tahoe, but they made it as if Haas, Ben Cartwright, Little Joe, and Adam Cartwright would hop on their horse or go in the wagon, and they'd go down about a mile and a half, and they were in Virginia City in a matter of seconds, when it's like way over the mountains. You have to go to Reno and make a right turn and then go about 30 or 40 miles on the freeway. And they didn't have freeways then, it's just mountain roads and passes and stuff and snow, and I'm going like, these guys, like, we're going to Virginia City. All right, I'll go with you. Okay, and the next thing they're in the bar and somebody's fighting with them or whatever, or someone's locking them up or accusing them of murder or whatever. And I'm going like, these guys act like they're going down to Wendy's, It always used to break me up because the distance is. Well, I can't know if you're the real Jason Callan or not. But your people, it's not a feud with you, it's a feud with your fans. So everybody knows my email, and I talked to you on the phone for an hour. So how would I know it's really you? I have nothing against you, but I'm really tired of your legion of trolls coming in and disrupting every one of my live videos. I don't do that to you. I wouldn't do that to anybody else. It would never have occurred to me to do that to somebody else. It is not what I do to people, because that's a disgusting thing to do. There we go. If that's really you, we had a nice conversation. I didn't even record it. I suppose I should have, so everybody could have heard that we had a pleasant conversation and there was no animus between us. Oh, PG&E has now found out, has been found out by CAL FIRE. They started the Paradise and other fires with their power lines, so they're liable. So Jason Callan works for a plastics company east of Erie. I make fun of it, east nowhere, east Erie nowhere. I can't remember where he lives, and but we had a conversation for an hour, and I was very happy. And I was accused of plagiarism or so, I thought, by his sister, and I never even heard of the guy when I was accused of that. So I have nothing against him personally. But I'm tired of his legion coming they make disgusting comments, they disrupt the chat, they make comments about me, they're very rude and very mean, and I have to block them. I'm tired of blocking these clowns. Stay off my channel. Thank you. Well, they're blocked. I'm not going to. If I mention their names and their handles, it gives them more attention. The trolls say that I wanted attention when I go to the hospital and film my videos of me in the emergency room, me lying with the mask on and a breathing apparatus and gasping for air. It's not a matter of attention. I want my viewers and subscribers and friends, and I have friends online that really like me, and I like them, and some of them actually love as friends. They're dear friends. I want people to know why they haven't been seeing me on the channel. I've been sick, or I've had an accident, or at one point, T-Mobile, the Saturday or Sunday before I fell, cut my internet off. That's why I was out Monday when I fell in Walnut Creek at the transit center, to go down to Capital One, pay my bill, go to T-Mobile, and then the guy didn't add the data plan, and I had no internet for 16 hours, and the next morning at 4:30 or 5:30 or 6:30 in the morning, I don't remember, I called the ambulance. I can't breathe, I've got to go to the hospital. So write me an email. Hold on. I have to look up the link. Oh, what happened there? What the? Oh, okay, I forgot. This keyboard that I use, it's broken, but I'm only keeping it. I don't have to keep whipping out the other keyboard. It keeps blocking the screen up. Come on. Hold on. How do I write this? What happened? That's weird. There we go. Oh, there it goes again. Hold on. I need a new computer, someone we with Lotto, so I can buy a Mac Pro and not deal with this crap again. You type one letter and stopped. Stupid. Hold on. All right, drop me an email. I'm going to have to look up the link from 2 years ago when I went to Alien Con, and it's got a link to my store on whatever site it's on. I know it's not Spreadshirt. I think it's Cafe Press, and I have shirts with me on it, and coffee cups, and I have a shirt in here, but it's dirty. With my, there's various products in there. Cost me $32 to buy my own shirt, so I gotta have one of my own shirts. Oh. See? See? See what I mean? It's not the real Jason Callan. And Kathy has said repeatedly that never happened, and they keep coming in and accusing me of abusing my girlfriend. And she said that. She said that on video after video. She took me to court, or she filed a complaint in court, and we were living in Concord. I got evicted from my apartment, had nowhere to go, and I moved in with her. And she bitched and bitched and bitched. I want you out of your way, you don't see, you drive me crazy. I went to work, I was, and whatever, and I lost my job, and my credit cards went to hell, and then I got evicted for remodeling, as she did 4 years ago. And I did not want to go to my mother's because I would have heard no end of it. And for years, my mother called Kathy the hussy, the whore, the harlot. It was terrible. My mother hated Kathy until one day I blew up and told my mother off, and she laughed at me. For an hour, I screamed at her and walked out. And then she asked Kathy to stay and talk to her. And she, "You crazy? You just gave my boyfriend a ration of crap for an hour. I'm not staying here." And my mother finally realized after by then it was about 39 years, Kathy and I were going to be together for the rest of our lives. We love each other. But they keep coming in there because she accused me of hitting her, and it never happened. And she retracted the first restraining order. She got it removed. So we never went to court. I never got a restraining order against me. She filed one because she wanted me to move out. And I got a place to live. It took me 2 years, and then I moved into a small room with my cats in Walnut Creek, and then the guy didn't want the cats there. Then I finally got an apartment. I was there for 2 years, and one day I get a notice that we're remodeling the building. We're throwing everybody out into the street. You have 30 days to move. And that's how I lost my storage, because the idiot manager at Public Storage did not keep her record. She was always 1 month behind in her records. I went in. Imagine if you had 2 storage spaces, and one is all the valuable stuff you've had all your life, from pictures of your cats, pictures of you, pictures of your family, books, computer software, games, all kinds of stuff. High school, junior high school yearbooks. And you go to pay your bill, and it's, "Oh, we sold your stuff." And they never sent me a notice. So I was really, and I complained all the way to the corporate office. So that's why the real Jason Callan has never contacted me. And I've left comments in his channel, "Will you please tell your trolls to stop bothering me?" He deletes the comment. And he has several of the people attacking me as fans. So I have nothing to do with them. I don't give a damn what he does. I wish his so-called legion of losers would leave me the hell alone and stop disrupting my channel. There's something like 380 people I've had to block. And Jason Callan with his symbol, that's a copy of the Mountain Dew symbol, he's on the list. How they keep coming in, and after I block them, and they create a new avatar and came up with the same name. I've got 6 people saying they're Anthony or Tony or George Senda or variants. Jim Malliard, hi. Yes, you know that. You finally freed the duck. Jim Malliard is one of the best paranormal podcasters out there, and I enjoy listening to him, as is Jim. Oh, God, I'm terrible at names. You know the other guy. What the hell? I got his book. Anyway, he's great, and we're friends, and I'm very happy to see him. How you doing? And I hope you're not going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs with all this lockdown stuff. So, but if you want to listen to a really good paranormal podcast, listen to him as opposed to really terrible paranormal podcasters out there. And the 2 guys at UFOCon that were doing a live broadcast were really good. I can't remember who they were, but they have a garage, or paranormal garage or something. Jim Malliard, Jim Harold, what is his name? He has a book where he has a campfire book. So I think he has 2 of them. He talks about paranormal tales around the campfire. Yeah, I get that from this. I type too much and this hurts, you know. No, Jim. I'd have to look at my email. When I send emails out, there's Jim Malliard and there's Jim, and I cannot remember his last name right now, and it's driving me crazy because I've sent hundreds of emails to Jim Malliard, and my running gag was he has a duck as a symbol, and I say, free the duck. The duck is in bondage. You're holding the duck prisoner. So, God, what is his name now? Because they're right 1, 2 on my email list. I can't remember his name. It's terrible. I'd have to get up and find his book. But my problem is I can't see small print far away. I can see the books, but I'd have to look for the book. It's on the shelf somewhere. If you look over there, there are... there's a small bookcase, and then a larger bookcase, and then 2 milk crates. I keep hitting my head in the milk crate when I open and close the door. Let's see. 250 books over there, another 250 over there. So, but the other fellow has a great podcast, too. And there's some people I've listened to that are god-awful. And then they keep sending me emails. You listen to this guy, you listen to that guy. Oh, by the way, people ask me if I listen to Coast AM anymore. I don't, because I turn it on, I hear one sentence, I go, oh my God, this person's a nut, or oh my God, this person's terrible, or they're saying something really stupid, and I turn it off. Well, last night's show, I'm making dinner, pot stickers. Let's see who's on George Norrie. He's got this woman on. Now, I don't know if it's a guest host. I don't know if it's a guest. I didn't go on Coast to Coast. I like George Norrie. We're friends. This woman's on there. Well, you know, the problem with the pandemic is you can't see the virus, and it's scary. And I went, oh, my God, that is so stupid. You can't see oxygen. You can't see helium. You can't. What? Oh, that's disgusting. Now, see, that wasn't the real Jim Malliard. They come in here and are imposters of real people that know me. That's what I got to put up with. Every goddamn, I shouldn't be swearing. Every chat I got to put up with this crap. And they do it because he said troll. I don't know how. I've never seen Ron Francis before. Well, I don't know what that was about. All right, hold on. It gets to the point where I don't know who's real and who's phony. I don't know who's real and who's a troll anymore. How am I going to remove that? I don't know. Hold on. And to come on and say I'm having homosexual sex is disgusting. Well, it won't let me change it now. At least not on the iPad. These people never grew up. They're little children. Pay attention to me. I gotta make a nasty comment. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to. I can't get rid of it. Hold on. Yeah, Jim, you may have been hacked. Hold on. Well, I'm tapping on the iPad for my life, and it won't let me access it. It won't let me access. Wait a minute. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Hold on. I can add Ron back. Let me. Maybe. Okay, Ron is unhidden. But how I make sure, well, Jim could send me an email. We have talked in email many times. So I know the real Jim Malyard. Okay. Saying that comment was incredibly rude to me, Sue. You don't insult me. I don't tolerate that on this channel. So you're going to timeout. You don't come in and insult me. I don't care who you are. This is my channel. I choose to moderate it, and I have to spend an incredible amount of time every live video moderating jerks and banning them and blocking them and removing their disgusting sexually oriented comments or that I beat my girlfriend or whatever. So if you don't like the way I moderate the channel, leave. Don't watch my videos. Don't aggravate me. And certainly don't come in and make an insulting comment privately to me. I'm not going to tolerate that. I don't deserve it. Not after going on 9 years of doing this. I don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. I come in here to enjoy time with my viewers and subscribers and the occasional actual real world person I happen to know as a friend. The iPad cable came in late. This is the one I bought in May. And first the rubber rotted, and now the cable rotted and won't charge. So I need a new cable. And I've got to send them a picture of this and a copy of the invoice. They'll send me a new cable. Luckily, the other cable is charging. I don't know where the iPad cable that came with the iPad is. These are 10 feet long, so I can lie in bed. So, but this one rotted within days. The rubber broke, and they don't put enough rubber over the fabric. And now the fabric, this will not charge. This is only 2 months old, but it was started to rot within about 3 days. So, Anchor makes great products, but I've told them you need to put rubber over the fabric. Because if the rubber breaks, then the fabric, there's wires under that fabric, and if they break, there goes your charging. So I will send them a picture later, and they want a copy of the Amazon invoice. I bought the Amazon invoice. I bought this for $18. It's a great cable. It's 10 foot long. That's why I get it, so I can run it from the USB port charging brick, plug-in brick on the large thing with all the plugs into my bed, so I can lie down and watch YouTube or play my games or see what the weather is or whatever. But when this frays like this, these little wires under here die. They break. And this, when you normally plug it in, it goes boing, tell you you're connected and you're charging it, and this ain't going boing no more. So I have to get them tonight. They've been asking about the email to send them an email and make a screenshot of the invoice from Amazon, which is really stupid because I bought it from them on Amazon. You think they'd know I bought their stuff. And then send it to them and say, okay, here's a picture of the cable. Here's a picture of the invoice. Send me a new cable. But in the meantime, being that's the 16th, I won't get my AdSense money till next week. I came on to ask for help. Someone sent me $20. That's not quite enough because PayPal charges, takes 18% out, skimmed off the top. And I'll get my AdSense money next week, I hope. But if this cable dies, I have no iPad. So that's the problem. Jim Harold. Knew I'd think of it. No, Sue left me a private comment that was very insulting, and I won't tolerate that. So I put her in a timeout. And she was complaining about that I block people. Well, I have every right to block people who's someone being not respectful. They're not only being disrespectful to me, they're disrespectful to Kathy. They pretend to be someone I know. I've had people pretend to be Asia Bell, Art Bell's daughter, Joey Heatherton. I think I had somebody pretend to be Clint Eastwood in here one night. I've met Clint Eastwood, but they come in and pretend to be Jim Malyard. They come in and say they're Jason Callan when they're a troll, and that guy just said a disgusting thing about me. I have 380 people blocked in this channel. I shouldn't have to have one person blocked in this channel. Ever. December 21st, I'll have been on YouTube 9 years. If it weren't for the trolls, I'd probably have my own paranormal call-in show. They've done everything they can to sabotage everything I've tried to do. Telling people not to donate, saying people I'm a con man, a crook, I'm a welfare cheat, I'm an unemployment cheat, a Social Security cheat, I'm a tax evader, you name it. No, you said something really insulting, and I won't tolerate that, Sue. So you need to think about what you're writing me privately. I gave you the consideration of not banning you forever for that comment. That was very, very rude and uncalled for. I have to defend the stream and the channel and defend my reputation on here. And I don't know how they're doing this. I wish someone would tell me. And if we didn't have COVID-19 and we get a Prius, me and Kathy and Patty were going to try to go to YouTube headquarters in San Bruno and ask to talk to the legal department. They claim in their videos and in their public pronouncements they're doing something to stop the harassers, the imposters, the trolls, and they're enforcing it. They're removing troll videos, they're removing harassing videos, they're removing imposters. They're not doing any of that in my case. Nothing is being done. And I put up with this crap for 9 years. In December will be 9 years. 5 more months, I'll have been on here 9 years. And they complain that I'm spending the taxpayers' money on anything I buy. They've said for Kathy to live under a bridge on a box. They've threatened to kill my cats and the ones I feed. Yeah, but they create new handles. You're not allowed to create new handles. If you've been banned on YouTube, your channel has been banned, you're not allowed to go create a new handle. But there's a guy in Maine, he's a double convicted child molester. He has 45 or 50 handles on YouTube. That's against the rules. They don't do anything to enforce our rules because they're doing it by computer. They're not doing, and only people, when people raise enough hell, is when they do something about it. He's now in jail. He gets out next year. He got arrested this time not for child molesting. He got arrested for 3 counts of underage porn on his computer, and he's a total useless piece of scum. So, and he's attacked me on this channel, and I've complained bitterly to YouTube about it. Even the titles of his things are disgusting, and they won't remove them. So this is the problem. You get people do this. You got another guy attacking me. He's got 40 or 50 videos. You got a third guy attacking me. He's got 20 or 30 videos. And they constantly take my content and edit it to make it look like I said something I never said. And then they post that as a video, which is a copyright violation. This is why I want enough money to hire an attorney that will go to YouTube and say, we demand under copyright law to get all these videos removed. YouTube makes money off of controversy. Even though they claim they are child-friendly, they are more advertiser-friendly, it's all about the money. It's not about moral and ethics. And I call them a legion, high local machine. Now, I'm not going to allow that either. That is not Art Bell. Art Bell is dead. Art Bell was a personal friend. We never met, but we corresponded and talked on the phone. So that's an Art Bell imposter. May you rot in the 7 realms of hell. Well, I got the comment that was very rude. So if it was someone coming in, how am I supposed to know that, Sue, whether it's you or not? With your avatar and your name, there is only one Art Bell, and there will never be another Art Bell, not unless someone finds a way to clone him and bring him back to life like they did when William Shatner wrote a Star Trek book and brought James T. Kirk back to life. So, and I have Art Bell's books on my shelf. I have George Norrie's books, and I have a book, two copies of the book about the father of paranormal broadcasting, Long John Nebel, from the 50s. So I listened to Art Bell in 1990. But to come on as Art Bell is beyond despicable. The man's new baby has no father. The Asia has no father. Aaron has no husband. I loved Art Bell, and Art Bell was a wonderful person. He had his issues. The haters on Bell Gab called him a serial quitter. And this is a guy they claimed to adore. And then when he left Sirius, and then he left Dark Matter, and then he left Midnight in the Desert, oh, he's a serial quitter. And we hate him. We hate his guts. And the filth and invective that came out of that channel was horrible. A man that they said they loved and respected and awed, and then suddenly they turned on him. Which is truly despicable. So the only program I didn't listen to, he had this Terrence McKenna, who was into psychedelics and mushrooms and peyote, and so. But Art would leave. Just a minute. You could say it nicer than that to shut my yapper. Say nicer than that. Remember, the scrolling goes faster than. All right, who's the other troll? Because I'm just seeing the usual people. All right, you know what, Black Panther? I've been putting up with the trolls for 9 years. So when you get every live video where trolls come in and say you're having homosexual sex, you beat your girlfriend, you're stealing from the taxpayers, do you expect me to be friendly? Well, I'll remove the comment about shut my yapper if that's not really you, but I have no idea. And I don't know how in the hell. And by the way, I'll remove that comment too. I don't know how they create these extra channels and pretend to be somebody else. Don't look at me. You're not, the rules of YouTube, you're supposed to have one account. I have blocked people and they come back within 30 seconds with another avatar and they steal the pictures and the hard work. Lisa of Sheba Muffin, etc., two wonderful cats. Her father is wonderful. She has stray kitties come in the yard. She films birds. She's a sweet lady. She didn't deserve abuse. She had to end her channel, which was getting about 500 subscribers. Not a lot. I've been promoting a lot. It's wonderful. The cats are very cute. She started a whole new channel because the trolling got too much for her. She was sobbing on live on video one day. Well, I'm sorry if that wasn't you, but when I see a rude, nasty comment and it's your avatar, what the hell am I supposed to think, Sue? I don't know it's not you. And frankly, my temper gets riled. I should never have to lose my temper in this channel. Ever. It's the trolls that are doing it to me. They're driving me crazy. They've been driving me crazy for years. They won't leave me the hell alone. You got to understand my position. I'm on here to chat with my friends online and my viewers, not to chat with a bunch of jerks who pretend to be someone they're not. And, there have been periods I've threatened to just quit because I'm fed up. I've been fed up a long time ago. I come back because I like doing this. And frankly, it's almost like an addiction. I haven't done a video in 4 days. I'm feeling bored. I got to talk to somebody. And, other than Kathy, and I go see the cats, and I talk to my neighbors, and I talk to the lady at the post office, and I go to Safeway. I don't know anybody anymore. And you can't go out and meet anybody. Everybody's wearing a mask. I beat my head against the wall, except it would hurt. I'm sick of the coronavirus, sick of all this other. I'm sick of lockdowns. I asked Kathy tomorrow. I'm going to take the hair clippers. I need a haircut. Now they're doing stealth haircuts because they've now closed the barbershops again and the nail salons and the beauty salons. People can't get a haircut. Well, according to what I've been reading, and I get news alerts on my phone. But you got to remember something about the second stimulus. Until it happens, it's all a lot of it's speculation because there's nothing etched in stone. They're not even back from their 87,000th resets of this year until next week. And here's the Android system updating. And you can see how slow it is. That's why I don't like Android phones. It's like having a version. It's like having no Windows 0.1. It takes too long and it's kludgy, and then they restart the phone. Yeah, they need a vacation from their vacation. And one guy came on last night and he said they're doing local work. Wait a minute, they're on the pandemic. All their offices are closed. All their staff is working from home, and you get through to them on the phone, if you can get through to them on the phone. My local congressman has 3 offices. You can only get a hold of Santa Rosa because the Vallejo office The Vallejo office is not open, and the other office is not open. Oh, somebody down the street talking. I thought my machines were going nuts. So you see, look at it, updating now. It's still, the robot comes up. They have to wind his key up, I guess. Look how long this takes. That's why I want an iPhone. Yeah, they have a lot to do in a week. Meet Kevin. I don't always agree with him. I don't always like his videos, but he did a video yesterday. He was furious. He said flat out that the lobbyists from the National Board of Realtors and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the #1 lobbying organization in the country, they go to people like Mitch McConnell. Hey, Mitch, you talked about payroll protection. Well, you know, we've got all these guys working for us. And with the pandemic, they don't have enough to do. We got lawyers, we got accountants. We'll write the legislation for you, and we'll put your name in it. And we'll say, Mitch McConnell is sponsoring this new bill, and it's great for you, when it's really great for big business. It's really great for capital gains breaks. It's really great for payroll tax cuts. But the poor dumb son of a bitch who lost his job because of this, and the business will never reopen. And now the Trump administration has a website that says you should forget about your old job and re-educate yourself and find a new job in a new field, even though you have experience in the old job, which is absolutely idiotic. That came out today in Meet Kevin. But he said they write this legislation for the congressmen and senators. They take them to lunch. They take them to dinner. They give them gifts, probably in violation of the law. They probably give them gift cards. I had one fellow say that he knew a congressman. He would harump about school lunches, giving little kids a free lunch at school because their parents had no money to buy them food. And then he would go out to an expensive restaurant back in the 60s when I was young in Washington, D.C., the big political restaurant. There were Duke Seaberts, long gone. And they have a lobster dinner with all the trimmings, or a steak dinner, and it costs, $150 or something. Well, school kids are starving. So, I did this. Yes, I like Donald Trump because the alternative is complete Marxism, communism, and socialism, and the destruction of the economy of this country, the destruction of the history of this country, the destruction of private property, the destruction of public property. These people hate America. President Trump was on live the other day, 2 days ago, gave a list of everything Biden wants to do. Eliminate fossil fuels, eliminate natural gas, eliminate electric power plants, eliminate coal. That means we'll all be in the dark or be riding bicycles with a battery, if we can buy a battery, and powering our what can we power with a bicycle? Maybe a 60-watt LED bulb. He wants to have illegal aliens come in, no detention. Wants to have potential terrorists come in, no detention. Criminals will be released. Convicted criminals will get Section 8. They want to go out into the country and put Section 8 housing in next to your house where your property values would lower, because a lot of their sizable number of people in Section 8 have criminal records for drugs and assault and murder and God knows what else. No one will be executed in this country. The prisons will be laid wide open, and we have a work program where we have people who come in with skills. That will be eliminated. Anybody can come in and get a job. Illegal aliens will automatically get a work card. They will be put on Medicare, or actually free medical care, free public schooling, free college tuition to junior colleges. This is the insanity of the Democratic Party. Oh, yes, another thing. If they do have to go to court for being an illegal alien, you will have paid government lawyers defend them with your tax dollars. So this is the insanity of the Democratic. It is not the Democratic Party of Hubert Humphrey, who I worked for, and Eugene McCarthy, and Robert F. Kennedy, and Joseph Alioto, honorable men. It is a party of the Marxists, of the self-hating American, who are taught from cradle to grave that America is evil, that America is white supremacist. And that if you're not a white supremacist because you're white, you're an evil racist just because you're white. You're not doing a damn thing to anybody else but trying to survive in this situation we've got. But you're sitting here 24 hours a day thinking I'm going to be racist. These people are insane. They hate the United States of America. They've been taught we are evil by Marxist teachers. Now, Pence was the governor of Indiana. I've been there. I worked there for Eugene McCarthy. While the Robert F. Kennedy people were sleeping in hotels, we were sleeping on a gymnasium floor. And I want to tell you, it ain't easy sleeping on a gymnasium floor. But in 1968, there was one good thing about going to Indiana in sweltering heat, Indianapolis. You could get, eight. You could get 8 White Castle hamburgers in a bag for $1. And I loved White Castle hamburgers. So I think the governor of Indiana was Brannigan at the time. He was running for president, and then he didn't make it. And I got beat up by the Chicago police because I went to the Democratic Convention in 1968 as a Humphrey person. So, and I worked for the governor campaign and mayor campaign of Joseph Alioto, and I knew the late Terrence Hallinan, DA of San Francisco. My mother and I knew him and his brother, both gone now, Patrick Hallinan. And I know Dianne Feinstein, Barbara Boxer, Nancy Pelosi, whom I can't stand, although she is trying to push the HEROES Act 2, or the CARES Act, whatever they're calling it this week. But there's so much pork in there for big business and special interests that, it should be the other way around. Instead of getting billions for airlines, cruise companies, hotels, whatever, they should get $1,200 and the people should get billions. So, well, I don't know what Pence did to Indiana, to be honest with you, other than he did have some kind of an epidemic swine flu that he said he handled it. So I know nothing about his history in Indiana. But, when you're from Pennsylvania, Indiana is like Mars. You got to go through Ohio and Illinois. That's 3 states over. I'm not paying attention to what's happened in, what is it, Terre Haute or something? I don't know where the hell they are. Indiana is Indiana. That's another planet. So I didn't pay attention to that when I was 16. There would be but Indianapolis Speedway I paid attention to. That's all, and the Colts, except there weren't Colts then; they were the Baltimore Colts. So that was all it was Indiana, and they get tornadoes, they get thunderstorms, they get flooding occasionally. But I know, and I think are they the Hoosier State or is that Missouri? I can't keep track of that either. What's a Hoosier? Guy who sells you socks, maybe. I don't know, hoses. And they're into basketball. That's all I know. So now when I got USA Today for years, I would go in the back page and there'd be news of every state. And I read the news of every state to see what's going on. There's a little paragraph square, but this is what's going on in North Dakota. This is going on in Pennsylvania. So I've never been to Kentucky. And I want Mitch McConnell to be voted out of office because he's a grouch and he doesn't want to give people money. And he's worth $23 million. He doesn't give a rat's ass about you and me. He just wants to get re-elected. This is why I'm convinced that we're going to get a stimulus check because they want to be elected. Here's the thing. Jacob's live in Vegas. He does great videos where he walks through Vegas and films it live. Let's see. 79 Martinez right now.
What's going on, guys? Jacob Orth back here.
Why Nevada Governor Steve Sisolak is screwed. I love it. You can't say it better than that. That's funny. You want to watch him film everybody in Vegas walking at night. He walked over Fremont Street, the Strip. Great video. Great stuff. That's really funny. Why is the governor screwed? Yesterday he went on, will there be an income tax in Vegas? And he basically, in Nevada, he said no because The people will revolt. Okay. Okay, I'll look at the news hub. I have news on here. See, I get things in here just like the iPad. So let's see. But all the stimulus is speculation because they're not even back in Congress till next week. Teachers are worried about returning to school. They're preparing wills. Judge delays deadline for release of migrant children held by ICE. Science should not stay in the way of schools reopening. They're pushing to reopen the schools. FBI warns public about surge in scams amid coronavirus. Pompeo slams rioters pulling down statues for assault on tradition. He's exactly right. The UN said COVID could push 265 million people to starve if action not taken. Australia's China ties fray. PG power lines cost biggest California fire of 2019. Ghost caught on video at Disneyland. I guess that's an ad. Let's see what else is here. Georgia Governor Kemp sues Atlanta to block mandatory mask rule, say local leaders. 3 California churches sue Newsom over Singing Man. Russia tried to hack coronavirus research. Apple banishes blacklist. Now here we have a thing. The word blacklist is now banned. And master branch, whatever the hell that means. Man charged for pulling gun on Black Lives Matter Bureau bystander here in Martinez. Brazil has 2 million corona cases, 76,000 dead. CDC to recommend against retesting corona patients before they end isolation. School hearing dismissed after angry parents pack room without mask. Here's where all the coins are going. It says free coins. They're in there. They're in that app. Let's see. GOP viability limits would put virus suits in federal court. Rand Paul is wildly irresponsible. This is all CNN. Ideas about a future vaccine. Hillsdale College to host in-person graduation, decide state limits on gathering. They're attacking a conservative college. White House document, 18 states are in the red zone. But I can't find it on stimulus, so. Oh, here we go. Martinez tonight with the troll. So that is done by a guy named Sheffist, who is from the evil site Belgab. So he did a whole, I was on a podcast some time ago. I was asked to be a guest, and they promised me not to have any troll calls. He called in and immediately started welfare scam, welfare cheat. You beat your girlfriend. And the guy's horrible. All right, Black Panther, have a great evening. Be safe, be careful, stay cool. And thank you for coming in. And I appreciate it. So I blocked this jerk. His name is Sheffist on Belgab. And he's one of their biggest trolls and one of my biggest liars, slanderers. And I've had to put up with that. I joined that site in 2013. So 7 years I put up with that garbage from that site, the evil troll site, Belgab, and the other site, the companion site, Elgab. Okay, here's a story from Forbes 7 hours ago. Somebody asked about the stimulus. Second stimulus check income limit will be likely higher than $40,000. There are signs the income limit will be higher than $40,000. You've been reading on the stimulus bill, expect to appear sometime next week. You've seen articles how Mitch McConnell mentioned it might only go to Americans making less than $40,000 a year. A person familiar with the talks told, quote, end quote, unnamed source, a cap at that level is not seen as likely. 40,000 seems an arbitrary number. Jerome Powell said 40% of U.S. households earning less than $40,000 lost their jobs in March. It's staggering when we look at unemployment charts. McConnell said, I think the people who have been hit the hardest are people who make less than $40,000 a year or less, indication of where his thinking was. Compared to the amounts in the HEROES Act, offered a stimulus check similar to the CARE Act, and no dependent money in the first one. Why the limit be higher? Trump has a generous stimulus in a Fox Business. I support larger numbers than the Democrats. That was the only official proposal on the table was put forward by Democrats. And this guy's saying it's unlikely the president would support a bill with lower income of $40,000. The median income of Americans is $63,000. I've heard 59. 50% below the median would be low, almost too low. For $40,000, millions of Americans will not get a stimulus check. And the next check will be structured like the HEROES Act, bigger phase-out rate. The HEROES Act started at $75,000. We'll have to wait for the official word. This is all speculation. They haven't done a minute of negotiation unless they're doing it behind the scenes. They're all putting on these articles because they got to have copy. They want people to read their articles. So that's a new issue. Hello, Soul Sister. That's a new thing from Forbes within 7 hours. I wouldn't call it fake news, but this is all, they're talking to guys behind the scenes. It's like an unnamed source at the White House, an unnamed source at the State Department. Then you find out some anti-Trumper leaking or pro-Trumper leaking who doesn't want to be quoted. And then Trump finds out about it. He blows his stack. You weren't supposed to talk about that. He fires a guy. He moves him around like he did with his campaign manager, who they blamed COVID-19. They blamed the Oklahoma rally for COVID-19, and yet the Oklahoma Health Department said there's absolutely no evidence that the spike in corona cases in Oklahoma occurred because people went to a Donald Trump rally. Anything Trump does, they criticize. If Trump has a KFC and a Coke, they criticize his diet. And on and on and on. If his children do something, they criticize his little kid Barron. They attack the little kid, which is disgusting. They attack his wife, they attack his daughter, they attack his family. I do think his Jared Kushner, who has running something in the Trump administration with the campaign, I think he needs to go away. He's a globalist. And apparently his daughter who married him is a globalist. And we don't want no globalist in the Trump administration. We want America first. And I am pro-Trump. The alternative is madness and the destruction of the United States of America. And I am a conservative. I want to conserve the United States. I want to see everybody prosperous, everybody have a job, everybody have money. No one should be poor. No one should be homeless. No one should be starving in this country or anywhere in the world. We have enough wealth on this planet that everybody on this planet could be living a decent life with clean air, clean water, food, a place to live, a comfortable place to sleep, and safety, not be attacked by terrorists. And another thing, Black Lives Matter, the Marxist portion of it, never mentions that there are thousands of people. They talk about slavery. I forget what city it was in the South, that in North Carolina, I think, they just voted to say that blacks should get reparations for slavery. They did not say they should get an amount. But no one on the left will mention that there are thousands of people being sold into slavery in Libya every day. Men, women, and children. Not a thing said about that in the leftist media, CNN, by Black Lives Marxists, by people who say we should have reparations. They want to tear down the Emancipation Proclamation statue where the slave is kneeling at the feet of Lincoln, but he is not kneeling in submission. He's kneeling in prayer and saying, "Thank you, Mr. President, for freeing us from bondage." These people know nothing about history. All they know is hate. I don't care if you're black, brown, yellow, gay, lesbian, transsexual, bisexual. I don't care where you came from, what your religion is, unless you're a Muslim who wants to kill people, or unless you're a Protestant white supremacist who wants to kill Jews and Catholics and Masons and blacks and minorities. I don't care what you do as long as you live your life in a decent manner and want to get along with everybody and want to have the best country and the best quality of life you can have. My quality of life, I got a messy apartment. I got physical limitations. I'm not a rich man. I would love to be richer. And if I ever hit the lotto or ever came into a lot of money, there's people on this channel and there's viewers who would get money from me to pay back for the help I've got. I have two friends who never got a stimulus check. One of them is Patty. And as much as Kathy and I get upset at her because how she treats Kathy terribly, I will go down there and say, "You didn't get your stimulus check. Here's $2,500. So you can have a better life. And by the way, I'm going to get you a new car." But I'm mad at her right now. I'm not inclined to get her a new car if I win the lotto on the 1st of the month, because she treated Kathy terribly on my birthday. Made her pay for her own dinner and made Kathy pay for Patty's dinner. You don't do that on your birthday. See, people wonder why I get mad. On your birthday, you're treated like a king or a queen by your friends, not you don't sponge off them. When I don't have money on Kathy's birthday because it falls on the 26th of June and we don't get paid till the 1st, but the first month we go out and I buy her dinner and I buy her roses or tulips. She loves tulips. And I buy her presents and we have a nice time. You don't make someone pay for their own meal on their birthday. I read the Old Testament. I read the New Testament years ago, but how much of that really happened and is true, and how much of that remember, a lot of the New Testament was written 70 years after Jesus died. So, and I don't go to church being Jewish, but I went to church because my dad was Catholic. So on Sunday I got taken to Catholic church. On Saturday I got taken to temple, and I was very confused. So I talk to God. I've been pronounced dead twice. I got electrocuted once. God knows I'm here. I should be, by all rights, I should be dead 3 or 4 or 5 times over by now, with all the health issues I've had and being pronounced dead and came back and had the near-death experience. And when you're 5 and 12, you don't have any concept of near death, faraway death, close death, death is tapping in your shoulder. Here, I'm here to get you. And who are you? I'm dead. What do? I take people when they die. Why? I went into the hospital at 107 fever and had pneumonia, and they kept me in an unheated room at a Catholic boarding school in Ligonier, Pennsylvania. Taken in an ambulance from there to McGee Hospital in Pittsburgh. My mother was a charge nurse in the hospital in a blizzard. And I arrived there and they pronounced me dead. And she said, "I can feel him. He's still alive." She had them pack me in ice. I was gone for 3 days. But I was in the bed and I saw me rise out of the bed, saw my mother and father and the doctors and nurses and the TV on. And I was in the corner of the room and a big light showed up, like a spotlight. And I floated toward that light and I saw the brightest light I've ever seen, except when I was 12, I saw it again. And I knew I went through that light. That was it. And something made me not go in the light. And something said, "Go back to your body." And at the age of 12, my father got drunk. He came home. He beat me with an electric coffee cord. In the old days, you had a coffee maker with a separate cord that you had to plug in, and you put the steel thing in, and you put the coffee grounds in, and the percolator. And he beat me with that. He turned the bath water boiling hot water, 140 degrees, I think. No cold water. Punched me in the face, knocked me in the water, and the next morning my mother came home from work. I called her up before he did this. I was terrified. The back door did not lock. He took off. She came home and found me at the base of the stairs. They had to throw out the carpeting. They had to throw out the wood. They had to throw out the stone because I lost 80% of the blood in my body. I was 10. They rushed me to Walter Reed Army Hospital, and once again I was pronounced dead. And she said, he's still alive. So I've been pronounced dead twice. No, these are, I can't move. These are Star Trek figurines and little Pokemon figurines and a Charmander, but they've got the earthquake thing now, and Pikachu, and all kinds of other things. Oh, there's the Temptations. Mousy. I've got lots of Chars. And Snoopy. They kept falling off, so I got this sticky stuff. And it took me 40 years of screaming panic attacks and sobbing and depression. And then one day it just stopped. My father died in 1972. The last time I saw him, he attacked my mother. He got drunk, went into rages, and he started choking her to death, and I beat the crap out of him to get him off of her. He walked with 2 canes and had one of those machines like Leonard Nimoy. We had to breathe. He had emphysema from smoking. And I started beating him, and all the rage I felt for all those years. And you son of a bitch, you're beating my mother. You're trying to kill her. Get off of her. And the next day I moved to Los Angeles, and that's when I got in all the trouble and everything else. So that's what happened to me. And the third time, I went out on the lawn. We had a new house, and my dad had never finished putting the lawn or the sidewalk around the house. And I watered the lawn and cut the lawn with a lawnmower. I wasn't allergic to grass as a child. And came in and plugged in the electric fan on the concrete floor in the unfinished panel for the plugs. There was nothing covering the plug. There was a plastic thing over the box, and my feet were wet, my arms were wet, my legs were wet, and I flew across the room about 50 feet, hit the concrete wall, slid down the wall, and was gone. I was gone for about an hour. I don't know if I was dead or not, but I was gone. Do not plug in the fan when you're wet. I learned that lesson, So not a good thing. Do not plug in the electric plug when you are grounded. So, at another time, my uncle had a dog, and Judy, and he had a huge backyard, about 3 blocks long, full of grass. And Judy was a Labrador, and she loved to come up, plump, 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 and she would put her paws on your shoulder. Well, I'm standing on the back steps of his house. Judy, blump, 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 and she's going full speed. And she puts her paws on my shoulder. I go, bam! And I go through the screen door, through the wooden door, down the stairs, to the basement, out cold. I don't know what was going on there either, but I was gone for an hour that time. So, hello, Bob. So, now these are Star Trek that somebody sent me, and Charmander and Pokemon. Here's Squirtle. I don't know what they are, but they're very, I don't know. I can't forget them. These are Funkos, so they're cute. I mean, I'm not into Squirtle. Kathy loves Squirtle and Bulbasaur and Venusaur. I love Charmander. Charmander is my favorite. And I got 2 Snoopys up there. And then there's I got 2 of these, the Temptations Crunchy. You put the Crunchies in there and the cat plays them, the Crunchies come out. When these are not sold anymore, they're very expensive on eBay. They only come out these at Christmas time. But they're cute. My cats would not play with them, but other kitties would. I'm going to send them to, thank you, Bob. I'm going to send them to, I got 6 of them to send to Lucky Ferals, and I got 1 to send to another friend of mine. So she has 4 kitties who would like them. So, that's it. I have to go now. I have to eat. I have to go feed Tiny One and Orangey and Gray and Mama Cat and Kitten. I'm getting hungry, and I'm starting to feel it from this. So, let's see, 10, 8, 18, 10, I could use $4 more in super chat in PayPal money, Falky2013 at gmail.com to cover the cost of the. Now actually about $6. I got to cover the sales tax, and they're 18% charge. If someone wants to donate to PayPal, I would really appreciate it. I will refund the money on the first of the month to you. Someone sent me 20. I thank them for that, but PayPal takes 18% out. And it's $19.95 for a new cable for the iPad. If this thing goes out, I have no iPad. I got $20. So, but they take 18% unless you send it friends and family. And I think I've got like $3 in the bank because I had to pay for my medication. I had to charge money on my credit card for my medication. I had to pay for medication on my bank account. This stuff. It was only $5, but I didn't have $5 in cash. So, and yeah, there's another thing with the coin shortage. Again, it's hey, get out of there. Oh, my inhalers are sticking in the bowl here. Hold on. I wound up with 4 Scriva inhalers for the new inhalers. I throw them all in this bowl with the quarters. For all I know, when I do laundry, I keep saying I'm going to do laundry, and I never get around to it because by the time I go out and feed the cats, I'm usually gasping for air from the wind. It's very windy out there now. This is my quarters and a paperclip. This is my laundry money. I've got to do some laundry. So go to Kathy's tomorrow. You'll see me live at Kathy's. I help her with whatever the problem she has, and she will give you a haircut. And I will play around the Switch for a while, and I will hook up her 300 game device I bought for her for her birthday. So, okay, it's, wait a minute. Yeah, Snoopy. Here, let me move this. I'm afraid if I move the iPad, it'll screw the cable. There's my, whoa. Here's my Snoopy phone. That works as a phone still, but the connector to the cable to the phone is broken. And there's 2 Snoopies here, and I have Snoopy dolls. I have Cat in a Hat. I love Snoopy. There's my Christmas ornament with Woodstock. And I have another Snoopy over here that fell, another Christmas ornament. And I have a stuffed Snoopy around here somewhere. One day I'll have this place all straight. There's Fuzzy again. There is the receiver for the Snoopy phone. But the thing on the receiver, it's not plugged in as a phone anymore because I have no phone line. But it is this cost about, with the push button, which is the hard one to find, this cost about $100 right now, or up to $150 on eBay. The rotary dial. But you have to have an adapter now to use you can't use a rotary dial anymore. You have to have a digital adapter. So I had the original one, but I lost that one last night. But that's the hard to get lamp on. The lampshade is screwed. I need a new lampshade. The lampshade is really beat up because it's fallen several times. But anyway, well, let me type here. No, it won't let me type here. I got to go up to the thing again. Hold on. If you donate, I will refund your money on the 31st, actually, when I get up and the money gets put in my bank account. But they charge 18%, which is not the 30 that Super Chat takes out, which I think is disgusting. This is my PayPal address. And by the way, for the record, there is no other address for me other than my mailbox. And the trolls do not have a P.O. box in Missouri or Pennsylvania. My P.O. Box, 815 Court Street, number 786, Martinez, California, 94553. George Senda is the only P.O. Box I have. It's where I get 95% of my mail. Some actually comes here, packages delivered by UPS, the Postal Service. But there is no other mailing address for me. That's my PayPal address. Someone sent me $20. I'll have to look at the chat and go back in there and see who did it, because my memory isn't like a sieve anymore. I thank them for it. I really appreciate it. But I need another $6 or so to cover the PayPal fee if they don't do friends and family. Do friends and family, it's free. If you do it regular, then they take a percentage out. If I get $10, I think I actually transfer my account $9.75 or something. They take a quarter out. So I will have to go tomorrow or Monday to the Apple store, assuming I get enough money. After it takes like a minute to transfer the money in my bank account. Go down to Walnut Creek, which is a hour bus ride. Go to the Apple store. Wait for them to take. They take your temperature. They take a device up your head. They go, meh, and it doesn't go around. It's my sound effect. It should go around. That'd be kind of neat. And they have hand sanitizer. They offer you a bottle of warm water, bottled water that's warm, not cold, and they ask you what you want. I'd go in there and get the cable, assuming they have them in stock, because they don't always have them in stock, and then go outside and do a live video at the Apple store. So I don't know what they do if you come up there and you got like 107 fever and you don't have corona. You know, what would they do if they had an Apple store in Death Valley? They take your temperature and it's like 118 or something. So you know they take this digital thermometer and they don't even touch your head. They just point it at your head. And I go, how the hell can it must put out some RF signal? And the people worried about, you know, there might be a chip in me. You know, they can take a thermometer and they're reading it off your brain, you know, or wherever they get it from. I don't know how it works. I tried to buy one on eBay and the guy never said it. I spent $17 and I never got the damn thing. It was sent in Elmira, New York, but it was coming Sichuan, China, and it never, or whatever that city. There's a city where all this stuff comes from, and it goes by China Post, and it takes like 3 months to get here. So I never got to do this when I was really sick. I don't have a thermometer. I had a digital thermometer and it died. The one you stuck in your mouth. So I wanted to buy one of these, you know, these new updated ones where you go like this. It shows your temperature. It does not 10 seconds. It shows your temperature. You're 9 billion degrees and you are burning up and dying. Thank you very much. And I never got the damn thing. And some of those are they're incredibly overpriced on eBay, like $75, $100. There were digital thermometers that were like this, okay? And you took it in your mouth, and it had a little meter. You pushed the button. You'd set it first. You got them safely for like $7.99. And I saw those on eBay for like $45. A little plastic with a little tiny, like a display for your watch, you know? And the price gouging, and the Amazon has put a stop to that. But excuse me, not eBay. They're price gougers. Oh, and I was going through my stuff today. Let's see here. No, that's not it. There's my little ghost here. I got a ghost. Halloween's our anniversary. There's my little ghost. I love this guy. He changes colors. Wait a minute. Maybe the battery's dead. There we go. The official ghost of the guy from Pittsburgh. There he is. And here's a thing that you don't want to do on eBay. No, that's not it. The every once in a while the iPad signal from the iPad to my computer to YouTube disconnects. They send you this stuff that looks like real gold, and this is brass. So be very aware. I kept it, and this may be gold plated, but don't buy this stuff on eBay. It's garbage. It's not real silver. It's not real gold. It's fake. I found that about watching a guy named Spectacular, and he did a whole thing about being ripped up. Now here's another guy I've got. I got one that talks. And this is a little Maker's Mark sweater they sent me, and this is Tony the Tiger. They're great. Now he has arms. He has a tail. His tail. And, whoops, hold on, Tony. And then I found today, when I was going to the drawer, and this will say, if they're still good, these are batteries for our Prius remote control. The starting thing, I have a whole bunch of Prius batteries in here I didn't know I had. That's what happens, you clean, you start finding stuff. And, what else is up here? I used to have when I lost my storage. I had a talking cat in the hat. I miss him, and I can't find him anymore. You pull the string out. I'm the cat in the hat. Love the cat in the hat. Love the cat in the hat. Kathy hated that because I would pull the string when we were driving around, and she would, "Will you turn that thing off?" So, yeah, do be back. So anyway, if someone would send me another $6, I would appreciate it. I will refund your money on the first of the month. Actually, the 31st. And so, whew. I've had this guy for a long time. I have a lot of stuffed animals. They don't stay well. And there's a Snoopy over there, a college Snoopy. He's sitting in a casino bag where you take this little bag of, when you had silver dollars and change to put in the machine. Now it's all digital with a piece of paper and a card. But there's a casino bag there with gold chips on it, and it's Lucky Sevens, and he sits in the bag on the wall. And I'll show you this thing if you've never seen it, if you can see it. Up there, a whole bunch. There's Sylvester the cat. There's Pinky the brain. There's 2 Sinclair dinosaurs. There's a Stegosaurus and my giraffe. So I got all kinds of cute stuff in there. They get very dusty. So, and I have a big centipede cat they got me. It's this long. It's huge, but it gets full of dust. Another reason why I want this place cleaned up, the dust. Dust comes in from the door because I have to keep the door open all the time, and I really hate it. And there is my shirt, the guy from Pittsburgh. Except no imposters. There's only me. And Kathy said she could come over and help me clean up when we get the laundry done. So I hope so. I'd like to get this place straightened out. I got 2 pairs of shoes I got to send back. One to Amazon, one to Skechers. By the way, this thing, if you ever get one on Amazon, this is the Rocky Mountain tumbler. I don't know where the lid is right now. I got this on sale at Ross for $12. This normally sells for $20. But the reason you get this, see if you can see the ice without me spilling the water. No. If I do that, I'll spill the water out and the ice out. This is the greatest tumbler ever made. It's probably too big for most cup holders in the car. It's made out of aluminum, and I don't know what they did to it, but what you do with this is you put your ice in it, your cold beverage. I've never tried coffee in it, hot coffee, but you take your iced tea or your soda, you put ice in it, you put the soda, you put the lid on it, but even without the lid, it stays ice cold for hours. With the lid on, it will stay cold. The ice will still be frozen for 24 hours. This is the Rocky Mountain tumbler. Ross had these on sale. I only saw 2, and I came back to get another one, and it was gone. But they are for sale on Amazon, I think even eBay. And this thing is incredible because I've never had a tumbler where I could put it down in the morning and at midnight come back and it's still frozen. And I did one day recently, I put the thing with Snapple in it in the freezer, and it turned into a giant block of frozen Snapple and ice. And unfortunately, when gone to the Safeway I go to, they've had the small Snapples but no big Snapples for about a week. So I love Snapple. if we got $2,000 as stimulus, and there are some who are saying that is going to be the actual, it's going to be more than $1,200 a month. It may be $1,500. $2,000 would make both of us ecstatic. We could buy a car. I could take all my coin loans out. I could repair my $210 iPad that needs to be fixed, and you'd see me. I'd have an iPad. I have the older iPad to take out with me and keep the good one, the new one here, so I wouldn't have to worry about being broken or stolen. I had one iPad stolen out I was sleeping. And then I would maybe buy my 2 months worth of cat supplies, and then see if I can pay down one credit card to zero and get a GoPro, and then start working toward getting a second car. After the second car, buy my land I want to buy and try to make some money off of that, and work toward, if I made enough money, a newer Mac. My newest Mac is a 2010, and that's way out of date. So, okay, I'm going to go. Why does Bob Knight have a Trump avatar, I wonder? Anyway, that's it for this one. I'm hungry. I got to go to the bathroom. And I did get something done. This is all stuff to be thrown in the garbage, and I keep the boxes for the lamps. And things are falling on the floor. This is one of them. So I got all that to clean yet. Every day I'll do a little bit until it's cleaned up. But this is gone. This will be out of here, and at least accomplish something today. So I give you baby. I haven't fathered any children. I don't know where you get that idea. So, never have been a father. I'm a cat father. I have 3 cats, and I feed another 6 to 9 cats every day. That's what takes up about $120 of my money every month, is kitty food. So, all right, this is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh. Have a great night. Stay wet, warm, dry, or cool as the case may be. Stay cool and dry or wet and dry, and stay safe out there. Have a great evening. Have fun. Find something fun to do. Flies come in here. Every time I open the door, stupid flies come in here. We have dumpsters downstairs, and there's flies hanging around it. So, but this box I normally put clean sheets in is now empty. Yay! Except for maybe some. I put a bag in here and dust on here. But I went through that, and I got more to do tonight, so I'll do that later. Ugh. Okay. All right, guys and girls, it's been fun except for the trolls. They should drop dead and live so long. Bye-bye. I'll catch you next time. This is George Senda, the real and only the guy from Pittsburgh. Bye-bye.